Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Not back, this is actually the first time, so this is a grand welcome. Everybody clap. Today we're gonna do how to become a flight attendant. I get this question all the time and I'm not gonna answer it more than once, you know what I mean? Here, you got it right now. I'm just kidding. But I'll just like send the link. You know, I get DMs all the time and it's like, how do you become a flight attendant? What's the process? And we're just like gonna go over all of it today. So let's get into it. So I'm Georgina, in case you didn't know already, and then this is...
I'm Kat.
This is my friend that I met during training and now we live together. So like, anything can happen. Let's start from the very beginning. How I applied is online. How you're gonna apply for any airline is literally gonna be online. You just go to their website. Sometimes it's open, sometimes it's closed. So if you can't find it, it means applications are closed. So don't think that you're like Delu. Always keep an eye out if you want to start an airline. I personally applied to 3 online. And you send in your resume. I think a couple things on your resume they like to see are probably like customer service experience, some sort of job experience. I personally had just graduated from college, so I did have a degree, but you don't need one.
I didn't have a degree.
Perfect.
And I made it.
So, but I had like I had some serving jobs. I was like a golf cart girl, and
I had serving jobs, and I had a little bit of college.
You don't need college is what I'm saying, but you do probably need like customer service. They're gonna look at your resume and then they're gonna email you back. I think they email you whether you get it or not, like sorry you didn't get it, or they say like, hi, we're gonna do a virtual interview. And so I did 3 virtual interviews online. They're all gonna be face-to-face.
I only applied at one. You guys are wondering?
Some do groups, some do one-on-one. And one you can't even, you're not speaking to anyone, you're just literally recording a video of you and then submitting it. So everyone does it differently, but it is really uncomfortable. And like my only advice, my number one advice, not my only advice, is to like literally be yourself, because they're gonna see you through this camera and like that's your only shot to be yourself. Sometimes you only get 1 or 2 questions and it's like, make somebody giggle, you know what I mean? Like, have some pep in your steps, some like something in your voice that says like, okay, we want her. Because there's so many people that they're looking at on video and they're like what makes you different?
My advice?
Yeah.
My advice would be just like research a bunch of like questions that like
customer service.
Yeah, customer service. Like a lot of like, what would you do in this situation at your job? Yeah.
So like, I personally was prepared for like a couple of questions. I looked on Reddit is where I looked, but you can also just look on, I think like Glassdoor isn't really accurate, but you can look on there for some types of questions that they might ask you. They're just gonna be customer service based, and you just have to have a scenario and just kind of show that you can prove yourself as a customer service. That's kind of what they're looking for in this step, is like, does she have a personality? Is she able to like solve something in a situation? Are you able to think quick on your feet? Because that's kind of like what it's about.
I never told you this, but like I sat in the living room with my mom and made her like read out the questions, and like we would fake interview because I was my first interview. I was so nervous.
I get this question a lot. What do you wear in the interviews? Well, for the online interview, like the virtual interview, I wore like a suit. I was just wearing shorts because they don't see you face down, which is like, I was wearing a full suit, guys. I'm just kidding. Just up here is what you just have to dress up from here up, do something with your hair, look presentable, and please, 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 I cannot stress enough, set up your camera. Whether it's on your phone and you don't have a laptop, make sure your camera's set up somewhere. I had a couple people on my video call where there was like a group of us where they would like, and it was just like, okay, sit it down and like follow along. Don't be on your phone.
What I did, like, I don't know if I should be telling people this, but I would like anything said, like anybody had something to say, I'd be like just look interested.
Just like you are engaged. You like want to hear what people are saying. You're not gonna sit there in the interview and like like look interested, even if you're not. But like these might be your coworkers. Like a lot of people in my video interview ended up at training with me and then ended up at my base, and I still hug them every day. I love them. So like just know these are your coworkers. These are the people you're gonna work with. You might see them, you definitely will see some of them again if you make it. So yeah, be nice. After the online process, there is a next section. They will email you and say like, hey, we would like you to come to an in-person interview, or they'll say, sorry, I didn't make it. So they'll pay for your flight, obviously, because it's free.
This is when it gets real. You're like,
because like I'm getting flew now.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, okay.
But like, they book your flight for you, you tell them what times work. Now you have 2 options for every in-person interview, and it's either fly in that morning and leave and fly out that night, or fly in the night before. But if you fly in the night before, you do have to cover your hotel room. They're not going to cover your hotel room costs. So me personally, just because I get so uptight and stressed out, I booked a hotel twice. I had 2 in-person interviews, and both times I booked a hotel for myself because I knew I wanted to get a good night's sleep before. I didn't want to be like stressed out, and the in-person interview is the longest day of your life. It is so long, you're going to be like, oh my god, I'm so delusional. So to make it shorter, I didn't want to fly in that morning, but yeah.
I honestly wish I did that because I don't know why I waited to change into my interview outfit at the airport when I landed there.
Yeah.
So then I like didn't go with anyone to like find the bus stop. I had to take a taxi. I was like on the phone crying with my mom.
Yeah.
I was like the last person to show up, and like you have to be on time for these things. So
and
like
yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna make it, but
chances are if you get a hotel in the area, there's other people staying there too. Yeah. And so you kind of go out with them, you kind of stick with them from the beginning. But I do recommend, I can't recommend enough, even if it's like you spend like what, 70 to 80 bucks, just get like a Motel 6. It does not matter as long as you have somewhere to rest your head the night before. Like it's so crucial, and it just like helps so much to like do your makeup right before you get there. So that's my advice on that. When you get to the interview, whether you flew in or whether you Ubered from my hotel room, be like early. Be early. They're watching you immediately. They're always watching you the whole process, but like be there and be ready and show up, and don't like sit down and don't speak to people. I walked in that room and I was like, what is up? Because they're watching you, and these are your coworkers. These are who you're gonna spend the whole day with. Come on, like you need to, like, even if you're not personable, like leave your social anxiety at the door. You can pick it up later, get in there and like get going.
Yeah,
like,
just be like the most talkative person, even if you're being annoying. I was like, hey, like where are you from? What are you doing? I really don't care, but where are you from?
No, like you're so,
what you eat for breakfast? Like
anything I'm so uninterested in their life, I'm suddenly so interested in you. Like, oh my goodness, you're from here. One time I went there in like 07 and like now but everyone's the same vibe. Everyone knows that you're just trying to be social, and so like no one's gonna be like, why is she talking to me? Like, they're gonna match your energy immediately.
We're all super nervous too.
Get there early and mingle. They're watching you from the beginning. All of the interviews are probably different, but I know that they do. I went to 2, so I know they always do group activity. They want to see that you're good at teamwork. You always have to be like working with the team. Take control, even if you don't take control. I hate taking control, but I was like, all right guys, let's do that. Like, what? Georgina, no. Like, take control. See that you can work as a team. See that you're personable, but like know when to shut up. Like, you know, like if they're talking, shut up kind of thing. Don't be like giggling and whistling, like whispering. Like, you will make great friends. I still have a friend from my interview. I didn't take that job. I love him to death, and I still talk to him all the time. Like, you make friends at your interview, so like use it. Did you get jealous?
I was like,
it wasn't at our interview. Just leave your anxiety at the door. You got it. The whole day. It's gonna be such a long day. I can't recommend enough bringing a water bottle, full water bottle, and snacks.
I didn't
snacks.
eat.
No, you are delusional. It's like I did not eat either. They give you at the very end. Yeah, at the very end they gave us some airplane snacks, like some snacks that you'd find on the airplane. Bring a Cliff Bar, a granola bar, something small. You're allowed to bring a purse with your bags in it, so literally bring a purse. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have snacks. Make sure you have something to freshen up your face. You do get bathroom breaks, but it is a long day and it's an intense day. Like. And every airline does the ending different. They always try to prank you and trick you. I noticed both times they try to be like, oops. But
yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
they think it's funny to like prank you, and so they love to get your anxiety up. I just like stay calm. If you've got it in your head, if you did everything that you could, just know that, and you can always reapply. Don't like get your hopes down. There's so many airlines, and you can literally reapply to the same one. I think everyone does like 6 months later or something like that. Like, it's not a big deal if you want to go home and like just get your stuff together and maybe come back. That is fine. Don't worry about it, but do not get so stressed out, because sometimes they're literally pranking you and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get this job, I've given up my whole life for this job, oh my god. And like then they're like, just kidding.
Yeah.
What? So yeah,
just don't fail your drug test.
yes, do not. Just quick intermission because the camera died while it was being revived. I spilled soy sauce all over myself, so that's what that is, if you're wondering. Okay, where were we? We're talking about drug testing. If you fail a drug test, you can't apply for any other airline. It's like a rule. So don't do that.
Go clean.
But yeah, they will drug test you and fingerprint you whenever that day if you get the job. And then here's the big one. Your CJO, Certified Job Offer. Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
Okay. We have no clue. We just work here. After you get your CJO, you're gonna have to decide. For me, it was like I had a couple airlines, so I had to decide. Deciding factors for me were like where the bases were, if they go international, the pay. Just think about all that, what's gonna benefit your life like most, and then make your decision. Then here comes the worst part. So for me, it took 3 months for them to email me. They said your training date will be probably sometime in the next month or 2, and they didn't get back to me. I got hired in October. They didn't get back to me until January. And so that was like 3 months. The whole time, that 3 months, I was like thinking, oh my gosh, do you think they forgot about me? I was calling and they were like, no, you're still on the list. So just during this time, be so patient.
I literally thought I didn't have it anymore. I was like Mom.
No, like you have to be patient and you have to save money, because once you start training, you're not going to get a paycheck for a while. Well, some airlines do pay for training, but it's not a lot. Just save up. This time needs to be like save. Doesn't matter how many months until they call you, they're going to call you, but during that time, just like work where you gotta work. Maybe like McDonald's, maybe like, I don't know, you just have to work.
Where were you working?
I didn't have a job. I'm on here like, everyone get a job. Actually, I worked at the golf course.
Okay.
And then when I got this job, I quit. I was like, but then I had 2 more months. So like, keep your job. Do not quit your job as soon as you get your CJO. Be like, yeah, and like quit. Like, no, don't even tell them that you're gonna be a flight attendant. Keep it a secret. It's top secret. You're not leaving until you're leaving. I'm gonna make a whole nother video about training and everything, but basically the next step in becoming a flight attendant is 6 weeks of training. 4 weeks for like some of the other airlines that are smaller, but we are a mainline, so we had 6 weeks.
And that was so
they pay for your hotel,
great time.
and they give you food. Everywhere is different. They'll send you an informational packet when you get it. But
I got mine 1 week before we left, so I was like in the dark until like a week before. I was like, what do I bring? What do I do? I was trying to find videos.
I'll make a whole like training thing, but basically next step in the process, training, and then after training they give you like 5 days. So another thing before training that you can do is pack your stuff. You're gonna be moving, and you might think that you live in a base and you're gonna get that base. You probably won't get that base. You probably won't. So just pack your stuff up, especially if you're younger. Pack your stuff up, be prepared to move when you get back, because after training you're just gonna want to go to bed for 5 days, and you can't, because after 5 days you need to start working, so you need to use those 5 days.
Yeah, we were apartment hunting in those 5 days.
Yeah, use those to move. Like, you need those 5 days. You don't have them. Just think that you don't have them, so pack your stuff. But yeah, after that, then it is 6 months of probation. Probation is nothing to do with prison, but it might be like
you just have to be like a star.
You have to be like on time all the time. You just, yeah, I think they can fire you without, I think what it basically is like they can fire you without like really plausible reason. They can just be like, okay, you're not doing good. It's kind of like a trial period to see like if you're good enough for the airline, if they want you, kind of thing.
Like if you're gonna be late all the time, they're like,
forget it. So
If you're late like once.
Yeah, that is the last step. So the whole process in all takes about a year. It does. It takes a long time.
Yeah.
My interview, I think when I put in the application online was September last year. I will give off probation beginning of September this year. So,
That's
but
crazy.
like that was a year
That's like
until
the
I'm
longest
like
job.
officially secured a job. It's a year, so it is a really long time. If it's something you want to do it. In the beginning, I genuinely was like, oh, I might be a flight attendant for a year. That was impossible. It took me a year to even become a flight attendant. Like, what do you mean be a flight attendant for a year? It's something you can do for a short amount of time, but like, you might like it so much.
Yeah, I didn't really think about like what being a flight attendant was gonna take, and so I just like applied, and you know, I was like, I'll just apply, and then it was like, you got accepted, and I was like, great. Now
Yeah,
I have to like actually think about what I have to do to get there. So
I kind of just saw it as like, oh my gosh.
yeah, like
I'm
that'll be
waiting
fun. Yeah. We're just gonna fly around.
I'm in your city. Like, that's what I was thinking. But
it is a lot more.
It is a lot. There's a lot to it, and it's a long process, and you just feel like, a lot of times you just feel like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? But like in the end, you figure out what's going on, you know, you're fine. Here we are a year later. So if you're stressed out and you're in the process, just know it does get better. Here we are here healthy and alive. We've been through it.
Yeah, we've been through it. And honestly, like I'm proud. Like, you know, like other
So
flight attendants will be only other flight attendants will know like what you had to do to get here.
You know, it seems like just like silly, but like, I mean, people drop at every single step of the way. Like, we really did make it. Like, so many people dropped out of the interview, so many people dropped out of training, so many people dropped at probation. Like, to be still here, it's just like, you know what I mean? We're so strong.
It's like a really big flex or whatever.
Okay, that is everything. That is how you become one. Just so you know, in case you're wondering. If you have any questions, I'm gonna put my email right here. You can email me them, and I'm going to do at the end of every video like frequently asked questions that people send me in, and I will answer it in my next YouTube video. So look out for it. Email me, text me, follow me on my socials, kiss me, whatever you want to do. Mwah. See you, love you, bye.